Hi everybody! Alright, I'm making this as a mini video to talk a little bit about the wisdom that came in the Metatron video that I just recently uploaded. So in that video, there's a section where Metatron shows me a baby bird that is sickly and most of the feathers are not there. It's barely able to fly. And he asked me if I'll heal this bird. And I say, well, yeah, of course I'll heal this bird. But then he asked me, if you knew that this bird would grow up to do terrible things and massacre millions and millions of people, would you still heal this bird? That was the question he asked me, but that's not just the question he asked me, it's the question he asked you, it's the question he asks us all. So I had a response in the video, which I still feel strongly about that response. And yesterday evening, I've been thinking about that question. And yesterday evening, I had an interaction with an unsuspecting visitor, then my friend Avery, the alien. I don't often talk to him anymore, not like I used to. He's been really quiet lately, but he actually took the time to talk to me about that interaction I had with Metatron and the value of that exploration and the value of the decision making to either A, heal the bird or let the bird die. So in the video, I had examined it. I told Metatron, well, I would just naturally heal the bird without question. I wouldn't try to make sense of what this bird's choices would be in the future. But it became very important that I would actually, in the moment, I would know that what this bird would go on to do. And again, would I heal the bird? And the decision was still yes, I would heal the bird. Even though the bird would go on to hurt many people, I would still heal the bird. Avery told me that in this world that we live in, a lot of us feel like, evil forces or dark people or people who are terrorizing the world, if we could just kill them, then everybody could just finally be happy, right? If all those people would just go away, then this world would be great. But killing people and allowing death to be the solution is the reason why we are in this pickle today, because we are not choosing to see the value of loving and healing each other no matter what. We're not seeing the value of transforming our belief system from killing is the only solution to actually healing is the solution, and it always is, always will be the solution, because healing is love. So Avery told me that if I were to have let that bird die, the soul within that bird would have only reincarnated and into a new form. And again, the opportunity would be for the soul to either learn to choose love or to choose violence. So it doesn't matter if I were to have resuscitated the bird and healed the bird in this lifetime, it wouldn't matter. If the bird were to die, for instance, it would have chosen the same pathway no matter what. So it's important that we allow the soul to the opportunity to self-realize. It was important that I did this. Avery told me additionally that when I healed the bird, I provided a gift from my soul to the bird, a gift of love that created an imprint that will forever be with that soul. And it will be such an imprint that it would transform the soul's very perception of what its choices would be. And so if I didn't heal the bird, there would be an opportunity, that opportunity would not be there, that imprint would not be there. And so in future lifetimes, now the bird, that soul would not have been offered that opportunity. I know it's getting jumbly, but this is really important. This is really a valuable conversation. Do you understand what I'm saying here? Do you understand why it was important that I healed the bird? This was on my mind yesterday, and I still felt correct about it. And I'd had a conversation with a few people just curious to see what their thoughts were. And one response was, I would let the bird die because I don't choose to believe that this world possesses violence anymore, or that the future of soul incarnation is to continue down a dark pathway. I do not choose to align with that belief system. Therefore, I will let the evil die, the evil intentions to die with the bird, and the bird then to be reborn in the light. And I was like, well, that's kind of interesting. But what has the bird learned, though? What has the soul learned if it was just allowed to die and then not be offered an opportunity to actually self-realize through the life itself, through the actions itself, through the choices itself, through the consciousness itself? I don't think there's any right or wrong answer. I think all answers are correct because all answers are based on your vibration and based on your feelings of the total universe. There is no right or wrong way to live a lifetime. There is no right or wrong way. So I think it's a really good conversation to just explore it just a little bit more deeply and think about that. Think about the way that we human beings treat each other and the way that we feel, this world would just be a lot better if evil people would just be dead already and then, good people could just be alive now. Like, that is never the solution. That is never the solution. It's like war. The people on the other side of the fence are always evil. And when you step on that side of the fence, they say the people on the other side of the fence are evil. And so, really, it's evil fighting evil. Nobody's ever right. And let's just kill each other some more. This does not solve anything. Only love and only healing and only a balance with that truth is the solution. So that's all I have to say about this. I'm just going to pause and see if there's anything additional that Spirit or Metatron or Avery even might want to share. So they're showing me the bird now healed. It's got yellow feathers and white feathers. It's quite joyful. It's a childlike bird. It is singing and it is flying. It is going up to a very tall cliffside, but it's also a really tall man. It can't seem to fly high enough to get to the eye to eye with this extremely tall man who is also like a cliffside. He is like stone. The bird tries to reach him eye to eye, but cannot. No matter how hard he flies and tries to fly higher, he cannot fly higher. He cannot reach this spiritual force eye to eye. This spiritual force would be a reflection to me of Metatron. There's no Metatron speaking right now, it's only the imagery. The bird then flies to the ground and sits down on a little rock and is actually, I tried, I really tried, and I kept trying and I kept trying and I'm out of breath now and all I can do is sit on this rock and feel bewildered. In that state, the very tall stone man bends down and puts his finger out to the little bird. And the little bird gets on his finger, and now the very tall stone man brings him up. So now that they can be eye to eye, without the bird even having to try. Metatron asks me, do you know why that happened? I say, in my heart I feel that it happened because this bird tried with all of its might to get higher, as in higher in vibration, to become more of a reflection of love, tried with all of its heart, and then felt even bewildered because it had tried all it had known how to try, and it couldn't influence itself to get any higher, so all it could do was take a break. And I think that bird was worthy and deserving of a blessing or a gift, to help it to experience a higher vibration. He says, how are human beings choosing to bend down low towards those who are not able to fly as high in vibration as they fly? He says, who will bend down towards those who need your help in order to raise their vibration and fly as high as you can fly, to stand as tall as you can stand? The more we are reflections of love, the more we bring everybody up to our level of love, is what he says. He says, is that a good enough video or a good enough answer or good enough message? He asks me, Metatron asks me. I say, yeah, I think that was a pretty darn good message. He asked me if I feel I can move on from this topic or if I feel I need to contemplate it further. I say I feel like I have contemplated it enough, but I think it's worth putting a little bit more time into the discussion and a little bit more learning for us all. So that's it. It's my video. I hope you like it. And you should, if you haven't watched that Metatron video, I'll put a link to it so you can watch it, because it's worth watching. It's almost an hour long, so it's really long, but there's extraordinary wisdom throughout that entire video. There's a lot and a lot and a lot and a lot of wisdom that Metatron shares on all different levels, and it's really worth exploring. So you should watch that. I'll put links to all the videos I've made this week, because all of this wisdom sort of poured in just before the new moon energy. And this new moon energy has really been influencing me to go deeper within myself, look at myself on a deeper level, and choose to be more nurturing, more attentive to the needs of my own heart, and more attentive to the needs of my life's memories and life's experiences, and be attentive in a very loving way. And the more I am loving to self, the more love I can share with others. The more I love this mirror, the more a reflection of love then becomes in the mirror world around me. And the same goes for you, the same goes for us all. So when life seems to get you into a pickle, you have to look inside your own heart and explore what is inside your heart that is now projecting outward, that you need to look at and face and explore nurturing and healing so you can transform the world that you live in, right? So that's been a lot of the new moon energy, and just making videos to promote some of the things I have learned and experienced in a very short period of time, in order to give you some ideas and share that wisdom with you so it can expand your horizons as well. So I'm done talking now. Thank you again for watching my video. If you would like to visit with me one-on-one, please visit my website and order a service. I share psychic wisdom and spiritual healing, and I would love to connect with you and help you in your life. My website is abbynormalswisdomquest.com. Thank you for watching, and thank you for supporting my channel.